I'm Maureen van der Hayden, and my maiden name's Carol, and I'm an ex-pupil of St Joseph's School. I started here in 1959 and had my 8 primary school years here, and I remember my schooling years here very fondly. Had a huge number of cousins, about 31 first cousins who did all their education here, Stricklands and Richardsons, Comeskis and lots of others. I have fond memories of school here with the Mercy nuns and being one big family. Lo and behold, I'm back here teaching now, and this is my 20th year teaching.
20 years,
20.
I believe it. My name is Anne Peebles, and I started teaching here in 1977. When I came here, things were a lot different from when I retired. So looking back to the earlier times and things that were different, which might be interesting, in those days the teachers did all the cleaning. We cleaned the floors, we swept the floors, and being a junior teacher we didn't have the big kids to do it, we had to do it ourselves. But the big kids would help us do the windows once a term or something like that. And another interesting thing I recall is taking the children swimming over in the convent pool. Children and the teachers got changed in the classroom and we walked over to the pool. I wore an overtop and the children wore their togs. It was freezing cold, the water was cold. We swam in with the children and we came very quickly back to school and got changed. So now they go to a nice heated pool down at H2O, which I did in my last years of teaching. We had a staff room in the junior school where we had our lunch. We came to the seniors and mixed with them for morning tea, but we always went back to the junior staff room for our lunch. And it may have been the size of the school, but it worked very well. And on size too, the class sizes. One class I had 32 year 2 children, and then the new entrants overflowed, so I got the overflow of 6 new entrants. And that was a very hard last term. I still think in horror of trying to think how I'm going to teach 6 little new entrants who kept saying, what do we do next?
It's interesting that junior school was there for many a long year, and yet when I came to St Joseph's that was the year 4, 1 and 2s, and I don't know how many years have elapsed, but the junior school in the beginning of 2011 has now come over to the senior part of the area, and the new block that's been renovated will be back to year 7 and 8s. So full circle.
Yeah. And I'm looking at and remembering the last reports I did before I retired on the computer. When I first came here, the children had a report or workbook, and they had to do work samples all through the year, which were signed off by the teacher and sent home as part or as an addition to a very basic report. So things have changed quite dramatically there.
And of course the school's gone down in size. I remember when I was here in the early 60s, it was so big that the children who started as 5-year-olds actually had to go to local public schools because there was no physical room to put them in classrooms. And then when I came in here in 92 as a teacher, the roll was up in 530s, but I do believe it was even higher than that. And now of course we're just dropping down slowly and we're about 400 now, so the roll,
I think it was as high as 700.
Yeah, I think we were the biggest Catholic school in the diocese for a while, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was pretty chock-a-block. Every space was used, even the book room. Junior school was a classroom for the last couple of terms. The overflow went into there and you taught in the book room. School breakups, memories of school breakups, or practices mainly.
Mayhem.
I think we decided one year we'd do it in the church, and we jammed all the children into the altar in the front, and we stood in front of them in hot December where they're holding song charts, and I felt a sudden warm gush where somebody had thrown up into my shoes. And another funny memory was having a practice in the town hall. We decided it was bigger and more spacious, and one of my little ones started screaming his lungs out. His tooth had come out and he didn't know where to put it, so he'd put it up his nose for storage. Sometimes we didn't concentrate very much on those breakups as teachers of junior children. They were pretty hairy and exhausting.
One thing that you've probably experienced being here as a teacher too is that you come across the children of children that you've taught, and that really ages you.
Haven't quite got to the 3rd generation yet.
No, and it's interesting because I run new entrant information afternoons, and the number of ex-pupils that bring their children back here to school, and they wander around and have memories of this and that. And once you've been here a few years, people say, "Oh, are you still here?" And I think, originally I'd think, "Oh, that's not a nice feeling to have," but it's like a big family here. And because I've belonged to the parish and been at the school here, it is. It's a nice, cosy, comfortable feeling to be back here as a teacher.